G'day, my name's Andrew Scott and I'm really pleased to be here, and I'm looking forward to a great Mackhack coming up later in July. So purpose for this is just to really try and get you interested in coming along and getting involved. And so part of that is also a brief introduction of Qd Robotics and who we are and what we do and what's the fantastic capability that we've got here in Queensland. So first off, I wanted to sort of give you a quick snapshot of the ecosystem. It's fairly broad. We've got over 30 plus years of capability development that's happened here in Queensland. Queensland has actually been the place of a lot of firsts. First port to be automated, the first robotic abattoir, the first underground fully autonomous mining vehicle, a load haul dump machine, was actually developed here in Queensland and then went on to be commercialised through Elphinstone and Caterpillar. The list goes on with capability. So we've got a lot of great resources, opportunities here in Queensland and also the rest of Australia. We know the three aspects that really drive a lot of robotic applications: dirty, dull, dangerous, and distance. So those types of applications we know very well. So we've got a lot of outdoor space, we've got a lot of businesses that operate in remote areas, and we interact with a lot of dirty, dull, and dangerous activities. So those are some of the areas where robotics is really playing a significant role. And there's some opportunities to really try and leverage even more capability and drive more growth in companies across the country. So just to also paint the picture that Qd Robotics is actually part of a larger robotics ecosystem, and we've got our sister cluster in Western Australia, Robo West, and Western Australia with the Pilbara and some of the other areas offshore has been pioneers of a lot of robotic and automation technologies. But we also have a significant amount of ag tech and robotics that are applied to the agricultural industry. Not only just the out in the field and with the crops, but also the handling and all the stages in between. And so that's another area that we're potentially can grow quite rapidly. And so we're actually we've got a fairly large capability base. All across the state. We have our friends over in Emerald with Swarm Farm Robotics. We've got activities happening way up in Cairns. Townsville is a growing area with our largest defence force of land-based capability that's actually behind a lot of sovereign capability development around robotics and automation for the future warfare and other related aspects. You've got the Navy up in Cairns that are also very actively involved. And then here in Mackay, I think there's some fantastic opportunities, especially with the linkage of the resource industry, the ag industry, and other related industries. I think there's a real opportunity to take advantage. The fact that we've got CQU here as well, which is our largest regional focused university with one of the few mechatronics labs here in Mackay, but also there's other aspects all throughout CQU's ecosystem that can be fed in. We've got down the road, Gladstone has a fantastic capability that's being supported through CQU and with the number of industries down there. Gympie has recently launched a fairly active robotics club, and there's some capability coming out of Gympie and starting to get really interested in Gympie. And then on the Sunshine Coast, we've got our Parisian Digital Hub friends who have actually launched the Fire Tech capability. So that's where they're looking at leveraging robotics, instrumentation, advanced analytics instrument and sensors to help us prevent the next round of fires that we are most likely going to experience. Toowoomba is very much focused around ag tech, but they also have other capabilities that's coming out of there. And then we've got some fantastic companies out of Goondiwindi. I think all of these can be leveraged off each other, and so I'm really looking forward to seeing some of the talent come through here in Mackay as part of Mackhack. So just to get you interested and sort of excited about where robotics can actually play a role. And I just want, on this screen here, we can see a number of local Queensland companies. We've got BI5. BI5 stands for Built in Australia, and there was 5 founders. Those 5 founders came out of the emergency services and the police force, and so they've developed a robotic platform here in Queensland to help protect policemen and policewomen from dangerous situations, especially ones involving a dangerous individual or someone who's armed. And so this platform is used to help in those situations, but also with regards to firefighting. And so this particular picture down here, and I'm just going to circle that, is actually where is being applied to the firefighting of heavy equipment, in particular haul trucks at open pit mining. So whenever an open pit mining truck catches a fire, there is a 300-metre exclusion zone that is required, and so it's really hard to put a fire out from that distance. So those guys have developed a fantastic platform. We've got our friends from Australian Droid and Robot developed this fantastic capability, leveraging a lot of off-the-shelf components, relatively easy to manufacture, off-the-shelf sensors, and they're applying that to underground mines and inspecting areas that are hard to get to. Then we have our friends from Emerson. Emerson is a spin-out company from CSIRO, and there's lots of technology that's potentially available through there. And so they're doing a fantastic job of helping to survey remote sites. Then our friends at Universal Field Robotics have taken the science and applications of robotics and applied it to construction-grade equipment to provide essentially a in-the-field robotic arm for a variety of purposes. Here we've got a refueling capability, and here we've got essentially a downhole sensor for the blast hole sampling. And then BI5 again, but with a robotic arm that's manufactured here in Australia, very robust for doing a variety of capability. And then we've got another inspection robot from Australian Droid and Robot. All of these robots are built with off-the-shelf components. There's nothing really hard to get access to here. And then these wonderful little guys from Micromelon are a great platform to learn how to apply robotics code and get a deeper understanding of what's needed. But you can also, these little guys have a backpack and then you can 3D print a whole range of different things on top of them. But we're not just limited to air and ground. We've got our friends down the road, or up the road, I should say, in Whitsundays, Surfbee. They've taken essentially it's almost a stand-up paddleboard type construction and turned it into a floating sensor platform. And they're using this for a variety of applications, from dam monitoring water quality monitoring, bathymetry, depths of river systems, and a whole range of different things. But what I also wanted to sort of highlight is that robotics equals lots of jobs and different types of jobs. So I really do encourage you to come along and really get involved and see what's possible, and even, you know, if there's opportunities beyond this list of potential collaborations and scenarios where we have people working alongside different technology solutions, robotic solutions. So hopefully this has given you some ideas. You know, there is a lot of support within the state. There's a lot of support within the country. And right here in Mackay, there's some fantastic resources at hand that we can leverage and really see what's possible. One thing to note is work coming from your company knows exactly what you need to do in terms of get the work done. So think about those dirty, dull, dangerous and distance type roles. Where can robotics be applied to make a safer work experience, work environment, more effective, more productive opportunity that could potentially generate even more jobs for people here within the ecosystem, but also as a way to export capability. So either in the form of products, and we've got some fantastic stories of founders here in Mackay that have gone to generate significant exports, but also delivering services. So applying robotics and automation to applications here is a potential export service or product to a range of opportunities. And one thing to note is, you know, we're here together, or we will be at Mackhack. There's a lot of places around the world that are still in lockdown and are still struggling with the pandemic. So we're in a really unique opportunity to sort of understand what we can do and actually turn that understanding into action and to really realise some potential that these communities overseas who are still dealing with the pandemic can potentially leverage. So there's a raft of applications that I think we can apply. So with that, I look forward to seeing everybody at Mackhack, and yeah, if you're interested in learning more, it's a great opportunity to come by and understand what's possible, what does this mean to you, but also how you can get involved and what you need to do. So with that, I want to thank you, and yeah, look forward to seeing you.